Hello, welcome to the top 10 plant mods for Minecraft 1.19.2. Going to be looking at Fabric, Quilt and Forge. So the first mod is the evocatively named Don't Grow Now, and this lets you create this item here, which is fermented bone meal. Take a look, just fermented spider eye with some bone meal. So this is an item that lets you have farmland, but it doesn't need to be near water. So say I wanted some farmland randomly over here. All I'd have to do and this is now a different block. It looks exactly the same, but you can see it is the new block. So what the doctored farmland does is it will not break, nothing will happen to the crops on there. The crops themselves will not grow, but it means you can essentially keep them at whatever stage you want. So if you wanted to have like a grading system from like an earlier stage to a later stage, they will not grow, they will remain exactly as they are. We also got this Silk Touch shovel. We break that. We're going to be picking up this doctored farmland. And the other thing that we can do is if we wanted to convert it back, you can see we can convert it back in that way. Okay, next up we have a mod called Placeable Plants. So, if you want some flowers on a load of stone, this works on like a ridiculous amount of things, so it's difficult to know exactly how we're going to show it. But you can basically place things all over the place, right? So, you know. But yeah, so like for instance with bamboo, I put it on diamond blocks for some reason. You can grow anything on anything. Alright, the next mod we've got is called Plant in a Jar. So this adds the plant jar, which is made with some glass and an iron ingot. And all we have to do with this one is we just place in, for instance, dirt. So you can shift click these in. And it's going to put the soil at the bottom there. And it's going to work basically for all plants. So, for instance, let's try some end stone with a chorus flower. And the other type of plant as well that you might try with that would just be something that you grow in the ground yourself. Smaller crops, so for instance, we could try some beetroot. You can see there as well. It's able to do the automation thing. Okay, we have now a mod called Overly Complicated Seed Pouches. So if you have a farmer villager, when they get to tier 2, you'll find they're going to sell this thing, the flower pouch. And you can see actually they can sell any of these three. So the seed pouch, the flower pouch, or the sapling pouch. If we throw the flower pouch here against a tree, let's see what happens. You'll see a bunch of flowers all come out of it. Another thing you can do, which is kind of interesting, this does work for open chests and open barrels as well. But just to illustrate the point here, if we get a pouch here, let's try a sapling pouch this time. We just throw it directly here. It's actually going to open, and then you can see we can get it in the dropper. So that's going to work for shulker boxes. Also, this thing adds a pretty interesting game rule, which is called auto plant crops when possible. Turns out to true. Let's now try. Let's try a few more flower pouches here. So there you go. If you wanted to plant a bunch of random flowers all over the place, that is one way to do it. So yeah, one thing I'm noticing as well, I put in a bunch of flower pouches here into this dispenser. And because of the placeable plants, which I covered earlier, you can see that these plants are actually able to plant on the sand as well. But yeah, very, very useful. And just in the interest of completeness, we'll just have the seed pouch as well. So yeah, really, really cool stuff that. Okay, next up we have a mod called Grass Overhaul. So this mod adds a bunch of blocks, slabs and patches. Let's take a look at the grass one, for example. You can see it's just 4 grass blocks. Let's place it down. So I wanted to see it on the biome border just to see how it works. And that's how it works. It will take on the grass color. But also, as you can see, it does have all the faces of it. Let's take a look at the bottom face. Yeah, all 6 faces are the grass texture, and for instance we can see with the slabs as well. Various different colours on the slabs. And then we also have the patches and the stairs. So you can see what these materials these are available in: grass, podzol, mycelium, path, crimsonilium and warptonilium. Let's just take a look at the actual how many you need for one block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 8 of them for one block. And then finally we have the stairs as well. Alright, we've got this item here, the Weed Whacker from a mod called Yard Work. It's the only item in the mod. Let's take a look. So yeah, it clears a large area. We can also dye the Weed Whacker, interestingly enough. This is a mod called Tree Bark Plus. And yeah, it does what you might think. You can strip the bark, put it back on. Alright, we have got now Artemis's flower pots. I don't know if it's named after the actual mission, the NASA mission that's currently going on. Might be. Alright, so we take a look at the flower pots. We can take a look, small flower pot and tall flower pot. That's what I was expecting. And you can see, similar to some mods which had kilns, we can do the unfired. This will be made out of clay, almost certainly. Yeah. Alright, so there's a small flower pot and the tall one. So with the gardening shovel, what you can do is you can change the soil types. So there, for instance, there's warptonilium. So it gives you a little different effect there. Okay, so the gardening shovel changes the soil, but if you want to change the plant, use the gardening shears. Now this, I believe, is going to be very cool indeed. Alright, so we take a tall flower pot, we're going to put the little flowering azalea in there. You can see we can actually change the size of it in the flower pot. So it actually seems to work on a bunch of different stuff. Now let's try a wither rose. So it just sort of changes the scale of the flower a little bit. That is pretty interesting though. We might just check out a few more flowers then. The blue I think is the smallest flower. Not anymore, wow. That's a very large blue A if you think about it. If you think about the normal size of the blue A, that's actually significantly bigger. The allium. Wow, the allium actually got a little seedling. That's cool. Allium is cool for sure. That's a really cool one. Let's check out cornflower as well. That's really cool. So there's like a bunch of cool stuff that can happen here. Bamboo was on the list as well. There's some wild changes here. The swamp flower. So some of them are just height things. But yeah, definitely worth checking out the allium. The allium having a seedling is a really cool little thing. And the blue A being able to go that large is really cool. Lily of the Valley, a few different coralities. Yeah, and finally we'll just check out the daisy here. This is a pretty cool mod. It's called Upcycle. So, say we've got some rotten flesh. Then it goes into the composter. The same is also true of spider eyes. It looks like it takes between about 16 to 20, right? And poisonous potatoes as well. That is worse though. Good way to get bone meal from rotten flesh, which would otherwise not be used for much. Alright, and we're going to end off the video with a very simple mod called Path to Dirt. So, with the shovel, we can turn that into a path, we can turn it into dirt. So you can see that. If we just put on some podzol, farmland as well, turn that into dirt as well. So anything you want to turn into dirt can be toggled between the different stages. That's going to do for this video, so thanks for watching.